Hi everybody, Jillian here. Welcome to my channel for a journaling Bible flip through. I'm going to show you the 23 or so entries that I did during the month of August in my NIV Journal Edition journaling Bible. I think it's pretty much time to shelve this guy, but I can't bring myself to do it just yet. I have so much room left in so many books, like in the epistles and in the gospels, and I kind of want to wait until I fill up those pages before I transfer to a new Bible. So I have all of my entries flagged that I'm going to show you, and I'll go ahead and get started. So I have lots of print and pray projects this month. This is using Elaine Davis' set. I think it's called Wild Calling, and this is in Exodus 13. I used some thickers. These are alphabet stickers that have a little dimension to them. I hope you can see that there. So they're not flat, but they're from Amy Tangerine. I think they're from an older collection, and I can't think of it right now. If they are still available, I will link them. They've got like this really cool wood grain and just like geometric pattern on the letters, and it matched this digital set really well. Next up, I'm in Exodus a couple books over. This looks like in chapter 15, using the set Fierce Love by Shauna Klingerman, also in the print and pray shop, and I couldn't stop with this entry. I had so much fun just piling things on. I created a little flip here because I wanted to use the card and the tiger and the heart and all the things. So I just, not necessarily hidden journaling, just wanted to make sure I had enough room for it with all of the different elements on the page. Next up is this set by Mandy Ford, and I used some older Illustrated Faith devotional kit stamps that I had. These are from the Lists by Faith set. This is from the How He Loves Us set, neither of which are available anymore, but I would encourage you guys to pull out your stamp sets that you may have from older kits and see how you can incorporate them in your pages. I like to store mine in this handy black 6x8. It's actually like a scrapbooking album, but you can get this 6x8 sleeves, 2 4x6, and then when you're done with the kit, I like to take the backer and then put the stamp set with it. Now, the new devotional kits have a 3x4 stamp set, which means you could fit even more in here, because they also make page protectors that have 4 3x4 slots. So once I get my Persevere kit unpacked and into my Illustrated Faith binder, I'll go ahead and put this little stamp set in this pocket, and that's how I'll store it for future use. This next entry is in Psalm 37, and I used this set Wild About Jesus from Brave Little Tailor that's available in the print and pray shop. This was so fun to do. I printed some of the pieces on transparency and then used some washi tape from Target. I had a lot of fun customizing the Illustrated Faith alphas here. I just took a black pen and just made some marks on the letters that I wanted to use and kind of personalized it a little bit. This entry I did in Psalm 84:10, it looks like, and I used the August Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat. It's no longer available, but you can get this stamp set. So I just put down a bunch of acrylic paint on the page that matched the colors in the kit and was able to journal some notes from an excellent book I read this past month called Nothing to Prove by Jenny Allen. I'll go ahead and link it below if you're interested in checking it out. I've got a process video for this, so I'll go ahead and link that too. So in July, I finished reading Proverbs, and I was still working through getting my notes and things like that down. So this was a really simple, note-heavy entry that I did using some Faber-Castell big brush pens, some of the black cross washi tape from Illustrated Faith, and some black alpha stickers to kind of just take notes around these verses that I had highlighted. And you'll see later on when I go through some more current entries, I love this color scheme and use it like at least 4 other times in my Bible. This entry is in Isaiah 41, and I used these adorable pieces from Jess Robin in the print and pray shop, and put down some pink acrylic paint, did some black like watercolor splatters, and some journaling down on the bottom here. This entry is in Jeremiah 2. I've got a process video for this. I'm using the Beloved Society in the print and pray shop, so I'll go ahead and link the process video for this one. This page is in Luke using the Persevere devotional kit from Illustrated Faith, and this was the last one that I did. The first 2 I had done at the end of July, so this is the only one I'll show you from this month, but I had actually decided to cut off this die cut piece that was hanging off the edge, and as soon as I did that, I realized I didn't like it. So fortunately, it was a clean cut, and I don't know if you can see here, but I reattached it with some clear washi tape because I wanted to have the whole piece there. I used just some stamps and the paper pieces and the clear stickers, some neo colors, everything on this page. It was a lot of fun to make. For this entry, I used those same colors, but instead I used washi tape. And then I found a die cut that I had here from Dear Lizzie and just created a little clear washi hinge in my Bible. So just because I felt like it needed a little something extra. Again, here I used some of the stamp sets that I had from past Illustrated Faith Devo kits. So this one I think is from the Through Christ devotional kit. This is from Rise Up, and I just, like I said, like to keep them super organized so that I can reach for them and add them to my pages really easily. And this entry is in John 2. Again, just some notes that I took from that book by Jenny Allen. For this entry, I used the set World Rebel by Salted Brew in the Print and Pray shop, and I loved the geometric pieces here, so I wanted to put them all on one page, and I'm journaling John chapter 8 here. This entry was technically created July 31st, but I didn't include it in my last flip through, and it's from the August releases in the Print and Pray shop, so I wanted to include that here. This is the set from Brianna Showalter. I printed all of the florals on this on transparency paper, so they kind of just melt into the page. And I am in John 15 here. So next we get into 1 Corinthians. I read through 1 Corinthians already. I just started 2 Corinthians. And so I love turning like every page in here and seeing the entire book filled up with entries. On the first page here, I used some more of the printables from Shauna Klingerman just to kind of decorate the page because it was just really heavy in notes. I included some background information on the book of 1 Corinthians here and just wanted to put some pretty things on the page as well. This is an entry that is taken from chapter 1, and I wanted it to be really big and bold, and I didn't have so much journaling, so I pulled out the paint and some stamps and just really pulled out the big idea and got it in the margin here. Here again are those colors that I used at the end of Proverbs. This was really simple. I just used some alpha stamps, some puffy crosses, some washi tape, and some big brush pens here to go ahead and get this entry down in 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Here we go with that same color scheme. This is in 1 Corinthians chapter 8, I believe, 8 or 9. And I just used the big brush pens again, the black cross washi tape. I used the alpha stickers from the She Blooms Illustrated Faith line, and then some of the epoxy hexes here in the same colors. And then this page, I actually have a process video for over on the Illustrated Faith YouTube channel, so I'll go ahead and link that if you guys want to check it out. This page in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 was inspired by Andrea. So on the Illustrated Faith blog, she had used the Clear Cuts pad here and fussy cut around the flowers, and it was hanging off the top of the page just like this, and it was so pretty. So that very same afternoon, I just jotted some notes down here about spiritual gifts. I'm sorry if you heard that boat horn in the background every single day, you guys. And then just fussy cut some more of the flowers here and just wrote my notes down. So I don't know if you can tell, but this clear cut is actually kind of wrapped around the page, and that's because on this entry that I did, I used a heat tool to dry the paint, and this heat tool from American Crafts, and it kind of melted the clear cut a few pages back, so it's really stuck to the page. It's not going anywhere. This entry I did for 1 Corinthians chapter 14, had some fun with some neo colors, some stencils, black alphas, and then just got some notes down there. And then I moved into 2 Corinthians. I used some flower pieces that I had printed on transparency paper from Elaine's set Wild Calling, and then just again got my background, like context notes about 2 Corinthians down on the first page here. And then this page I just did this morning. This was using a free devotional that Elaine had provided for us from one of her classes that she had taught, and I used her set Light Messenger, which is a few months old. I put some gold embossing on the page. Again, I think I created the gold stars here using one of the Advent Devo stamps from last year. So the thing, again, I really like to pull out old stamp sets and use them on current pages. And just jotted a little prayer down here. I used some neo colors to do some like ink smushing or whatever, and I applied this onto the page with some plastic packaging. This entry is in Ephesians, and it's actually just some sermon notes that I had journaled. I've got a process video for this, so I'll go ahead and link that for you. And then the last one that I'm going to share is from Revival Camp. I am only on week 2. I haven't done week 3 or 4, and I already had all of 1 John journal. Basically, you can see that there's an entry on every page here, including this one where verse 4:19 is. So I decided to take one of these large manila tags. This is from Allie Edwards, and I just stapled, you can see here using my tiny attacher, some of the patterned paper that was in like the supplemental things in the print and pray shop for Revival Camp, and just kind of cut the tag in half, did my journaling on here, put some paint splatters on here, layered the badge for this week with some more of that patterned paper, added a couple puffy crosses, and that was it. And so now I just keep it clipped here into this, onto this page where it goes, because I've got entries everywhere. And that's it. Those are the entries that I completed during the month of August and a couple from the end of July. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of the supplies I used, I'd be happy to answer them. Be sure to check back on Wednesday for a brand new Bible journaling process video. I'm very excited. It's going to be featuring a brand new product and talking about Bible journaling for beginners. We're kind of going to do like a back to basics thing. So be sure to check that out next Wednesday, and I'll see you then.